Race 3 out of 5 this weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. The grid decided by the results of race 1 yesterday, with the top 8 in each division reversed. So finishing in 8th place in race 1 was Craig Reed in number 68 with his Iveco. He starts on pole alongside number 86 Scotsman Tom O'Rourke with his MAN. Second row number 12 Michael Oliver, and 89 Simon Reed, brother of Craig, on row 2 with his Iveco. Row 3 number 46 Bradley Smith, the youngest man on the grid, and 69 David Jenkins. Row 4 number 7, Stuart Oliver, father of Michael, 10 times British champion, 1-time European champion as well. And number 1, Ryan Smith, going for his 8th consecutive British title this year. Winner of the 2 races yesterday in Division 1. He starts 8th in his Daimler Freightliner. On row 5, number 3, Stephen Powell. Problems in qualifying hindered him slightly yesterday. The number 3 alongside the 14 of John Bowler. Fair play to John. He's contesting all 9 races this weekend. He's competing in the International Truck Prix as well. And on row 6 of the grid, number 95, Ricky Collett, the Yorkshireman, in his MAN alongside Simon Faulkner, number 92, with his Iveco. Then there's a gap. We've got the slightly less powerful Division 2 trucks, and they're headed up by Paul Rivette's number 22. He won the second race yesterday. Starts alongside Adam Bint, number 5, with his Volvo Whites. Both of those trucks suffered turbo problems in race 1 yesterday, so finished at the back in Division 2. Therefore, they move to the front of the grid for this one. Second row of the Division 2 grid, Jim Bennett, Gentleman Jim, in his Seth Atkinson, number 28, 74 years young. Starts alongside 41 Simon Cole with his new Iveco, switching from Division 1 to 2 this weekend. Next on the grid, number 10, Craig Evans with his MAN alongside yesterday's race 1 winner John Powell in his DAF. And at the back we've got a Division 1 truck. It's Neil Yates, number 33. It's his first time in Division 1, first time in that MAN, so he's requested to start from the back. Neil Yates, of course, some of you will know the previous round at Thruxton. He was racing in Division 2, had a big accident and ended up vaulting the barriers after his throttle stuck open going into Allard. Thankfully, everyone was okay. Neil out in a new truck this weekend. Just looking down at the grid out of the commentary box window, I don't think Simon Faulkner is there, unfortunately, so he may be missing one of our Division 1 trucks. So Ryan Smith will go for a hat-trick, but he's got to fight his way through his weight on the grid. Drizzly weather here at Donington, so it's going to be slip and slide, especially in the early laps here of the Donington Park National Circuit. 11 races in total to get through today. This will be a 15-minute race for the British Truck Racing Championship. Settling in there, ready for day 2 here at Convoy in the park. Hundreds of show trucks in the paddock and on the infield. We've got so many other attractions. You can even try driving an HGV for yourself, courtesy of Taylor's Haulage. They've got one of their trucks here in the paddock. On board with Tom O'Rourke on the outside of the front row, the number 86 MV Commercial MAN. There's our pace truck ahead as we go into Redgate Corner. The long right-hander, quite easy to run wide into the gravel where. Out behind Redgate is our area we're seeing the Formula 1 stock car demonstrations. We've got rallycross and rally cars here as well. Truck drifting, even a caravan smash-up later on. Then it's down Hollywood and the drop down the fearsome Craner curve. Such a spectacular section of circuit named after motorcycle star Fred Craner. Craig Reed's Iveco on pole, one of a number of Midlands-based drivers from Stoke. Tom O'Rourke all the way from Livingston in Scotland. Michael Oliver from Hexham in Northumberland. Then the second of the Reeds, that's Simon, the identical Ivecos. Bradley Smith looking for his first British Championship win, the young gun in the 46 MAN, the blue, white and green truck alongside David Jenkins. David's yet to win this year, quite surprisingly for the former champion. Ryan Smith there in the Dayglow yellow and blue and number 1 Daimler Freightliner, looking for his 11th win of the season. Starts alongside Stuart Oliver. He looks for win number 4. 17 British titles between those two. And a European title for Stuart Oliver a few years ago as well. Division 2, meanwhile, the reigning British Division 2 champion Luke Garrett is here this weekend, competing in the International Truck Prix races. He does want to make a British Championship comeback next year. There's Division 2, the slightly less powerful machines. We look back from Michael Oliver's truck, heading up through the right-hander at McLean's Corner. Then the climb up to Coppice under the flight path of East Midlands Airport, just next door to Donington Park. Coppice, the tricky double apex right-hander, and because of the rise of the hill, so it's hard to see the apex as you turn in there. Gets on the exhibition straight down into Roberts chicane. There you can see first apex. There's the second. Okay, 15 minutes of racing to come then here at a drizzly Donington. Day 2 of Convoy in the Park 2023. We certainly have got ourselves a convoy. I'm not going to sing the song, don't worry. All drivers with wipers going, their headlights on. These 12 and 13 litre, 5-ton, near 1,000 horsepower machines, all limited to 100 miles an hour. It's time to go racing here at Donington Park. British Truck Racing Championship race number 3 of the weekend. Can Ryan Smith take a hat-trick? Wins yesterday for John Powell and Paul Rivett in Division 2. Here we go then, the pack about to be unleashed to 15 minutes of racing. Here we go. And the pack is away, down towards Redgate Corner for the first time. Craig Reed gets away well. Simon Reed going well up the outside as well. John Bowler, number 14, tries to squeeze his way down the outside. Looks like they're all going to get through Redgate. Ryan Smith's been crowded out. Stephen Powell gets around the outside. Paul Rivett leads Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint in the Volvo Whites. The Volvo Black and Orange, it should be called. See the amount of spray being thrown up by these GT tyres as they head down the drop into the Craner curve. Looks like it's Craig Reed in the clear ahead of Tom O'Rourke. Michael Oliver is third. David Jenkins has got away well. He's up in the 4th place. Ryan Smith currently stuck behind Bradley Smith in the 46. Donington, not the easiest circuit to overtake on in a truck. Takes plenty of skill. Here comes Ryan Smith on the back of Bradley Smith. No relation, those two. Ryan going around the outside. They go through Schwantz curve, named after Kevin Schwantz, the motorcycle legend. There's Division 2 back. There's Simon Cole. Good to see him back out. Had some problems yesterday. Stuart Oliver has a look as Bradley Smith. Ryan Smith's already gone through. You saw him get a wheel onto the curb and just flick the tail sideways. The painted curbs here can spin you out in wet conditions like this if you get a rear wheel onto them. Everybody makes their way through Coppice okay for the first time. Craig Reed in the Reed Freight Iveco Stralis leads the way by a few truck lengths ahead of the 86 of Tom O'Rourke, the MV Commercial MAN second. Michael Oliver in the Team Oliver Racing GT Tyre sponsored MAN is third. Had one win earlier this year at Pembrey in Wales. On board with Michael Oliver, chased by David Jenkins. They come out of the chicane. That's the Hospitality Suites down the pit straight, the Wheatcroft Straight. It's named after Tom Wheatcroft, who revived racing here at Donington in the 70s. Of course, the famous pre-war venue, Donington Park. Ryan Smith has a look up the inside. He's on the grass there, attacking Simon Reed. There's no room there to get through. Ryan's getting a little over-eager there. He really is a win-at-all-costs driver. David Jenkins getting through there past Michael Oliver up into third at the top of the Craner curve. There's been a little bit of contact there. You can see a rear wheel arch has come loose on the MV Commercials Freyhav Trailers MAN of Tom O'Rourke. Simon Reed 5th, Ryan Smith in 6th, then Bradley Smith, John Bowler. Stuart Oliver's quite a way down the order. Then it's Ricky Collins, Stephen Powell, and there's our Division 2 leader, Paul Rivett. The rain proving something of a leveller here because the Division 2 trucks, which are a little less powerful, able to keep up with the Division 1s. So it's Paul Rivett from Adam Bint and John Powell in Division 2. 4th behind them is Simon Cole in the pink and whites Iveco. It's first time in the Iveco this weekend. Ran an MAN in Division 1 for the first half of this season. But repeated mechanical problems with the 41 MAN has led to him switching into Division 2 with the Iveco. Looking back then from Michael Oliver, Simon Reed chasing. Here comes Ryan Smith up the outside. Flying Ryan looking for a hat-trick. He's got his work cut out here though. Craig Reed is in the clear. He's had just one win in his Division 1 career. The very last race of 2022 at Brands Hatch on Bonfire Weekend he took a win. Slide the way out of the chicane. Down the straight. There is Reed in the clear. David Jenkins under fire from Michael Oliver and Simon Reed. Jenkins, the Digraph Transport Morris Lubricants MAN. He's right on the tail of Tom O'Rourke. Michael Oliver trying to go around the outside. The number 12 gets out onto the curb. Needs to be careful there. You can see him sliding there on that painted bit of curbing. and he does not want to be pinged for track limits either. We've seen track limits penalties on a few occasions this weekend. One of our pickup truck racers actually got so many penalties in their second race yesterday, he was disqualified. Ryan Smith up the inside attacks Michael Oliver. He's going to go through at the old hairpin. There's not much room to go side by side there. Michael Oliver keeps his foot in. He's going to almost spin out. Yeah, he's onto the grass there. Michael Oliver, he really should have given Ryan Smith some room. He's just going to spin out. There's no grip on the grass at all. Round he goes. You could see that coming from the moment they went into the old hairpin. Should really have lifted off, I think, and given Ryan Smith the racing room there, but he kept his foot in, tried to stay on the outside, got out onto the paint and then the grass, and round he went. There was only one outcome there. Now hopefully Michael Oliver can get that MAN going again, because if he's stuck there the race might be stopped. So now that's Ryan Smith up into 5th place. His next target is Simon Reed, whose brother Craig is over 3 seconds clear in this race 1 of the day, 3rd of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. Into the chicane they come. O'Rourke 2nd, Jenkins 3rd. There's Michael Oliver. He's got going again. Breezes round the outside of the elder statesman of the championship, Jim Bennett, in his classic Sen Atkinson. Real proud favourite is Gentleman Jim. Over the line comes this very busy battle for second place. Looks like the M6 on a bad day, doesn't it? When is it ever not a bad day on the M6, I hear you say? Especially in the West Midlands. 68 Craig Reed, I think sliding there as he comes down the Craner curves. That's a bit of showboating there. O'Rourke going well in 2nd place. His only win in British truck racing, if memory serves me right, was here at Donington a couple of years ago. Ryan Smith on the inside is going to try again at the old hairpin on Simon Reed. Again, Reed keeps it there on the outside. He doesn't want to do what Michael Oliver did. No, he moves back onto the tarmac, giving Ryan Smith a bit more room. And Smith goes through. So that's Ryan Smith's preferred tactic. Get down the inside at the old hairpin. Quiet race for Stuart Oliver. He's back in 9th place. Craig Reed's got the fastest lap, 1:35, points at 9:08. Here comes David Jenkins, having a look on the inside of Poppy's, trying to get through the P2. Ryan Smith now in P4. Who's leading Division 2? Let's look back on the timing screen. Paul Rivette still in front there, looking for his 2nd win of the weekend. After a stuttering start to the season, Paul Rivette needs the points to try and catch Adam Bint and John Powell, who are together at the top of the points chart. And David Jenkins leaning on Tom O'Rourke there. He bobs back in behind, only just in time to take the chicane. He will not fit 2 trucks side by side through there. Flying Ryan Smith in 4th place. Moves up on the outside of Jenkins. They've had a big rivalry over the years, these two. Look at Stuart Oliver in the background, dodging about on the tail of John Busy Bowler. Smith on the outside, he won't get the line away for Redgate. If anything, it's getting a bit wetter out there, I think. Now to the inside. They can't go 3 wide into the Craner curve, sure. Very busy behind as well. It's these 4 line astern for 2nd place. The main battle at the moment, so O'Rourke, Jenkins, Smith and Reed. Next through is Ricky Collins. He's going well, the heavy haulage boss from Halifax in his number 95 MAN. Then it's Bradley Smith, John Bowler, Stuart Oliver and Stephen Powell, the man from Kent, near neighbour of Brands Hatch circuit. Along the bottom of the circuit they go. Craig Reed's lead is over 4 seconds now. This is the fight for 2nd. They're rather bottled up behind Tom O'Rourke here. He's the cork in the bottle, as they say. Once Jenkins and Smith can try and get him out of the way, they will go after Craig Reed, but this is ideal for Craig at the moment. There's Neil Yates, our newcomer, only his 2nd weekend in truck racing, and he's got some trucks from his recovery firm on display in the paddock this weekend, including a huge American Lone Star recovery truck. Absolutely beautiful machine down in the paddock, just on the edge of the truck racing paddock. If you are here this weekend, do go and take a look at that gorgeous American beast. Neil Yates currently towards the tail of the field. He's in P16. Here comes Ryan Smith. He's going to 3rd place. Almost leans on David Jenkins. Is he going to get round the outside of O'Rourke as well? Can Ryan Smith get the line here into Redgate? No. David Jenkins, the man from Stafford, holds the place. Simon Reed hanging on as well. And this is going to allow the rest of the pack to tow up. And David Jenkins leans on Ryan Smith there, coming through Hollywood towards the top of the Craners. And Smith's got the inside line. He'll get through into P3. Well, this is much more competitive and close than we saw yesterday, it has to be said. Plenty more overtaking. Look at Ricky Collins, he's loving this in the 95, on the best races he's had so far this year. Chasing now Simon Reed for 5th place. Bradley Smith is 7th. Craig Reed still in front, looking for only his 2nd Division 1 victory of his career. He's a former Division 2 champion. There's Adam Bint, still 2nd in Division 2 behind Paul Rivett. 3rd now is John Powell. He's got ahead of Simon Cole. He's dropped back to 5th in Division 2 behind Craig Evans. Jim Bennett at the tail of the pack. There's Stuart Oliver, chased by Stephen Powell. It's been a quiet weekend for Stephen Powell. Had a few issues in qualifying, ended up only doing one flying lap and ended up at the back of the grid in yesterday's 2 races. Here comes Powell. Now is that spray or is that smoke from somebody? Up the inside, Stephen Powell takes Stuart Oliver into the chicane. That's a good move by Stephen Powell. And Stuart Oliver, if anything, is being caught by the Division 2 trucks. Has Stuart Oliver got a problem here, I wonder? Because he's dropping back. This isn't like Stuart Oliver at all. Round the outside comes Ryan Smith. He's going to go into 2nd place. He's got ahead of Jenkins. He's now ahead of Tom O'Rourke. Around the outside into Redgate. Now, outside into Redgate rarely works in the dry, never mind in the wet, so I'm wondering if Tom O'Rourke's got an issue there. He seemed to be slowing a little. Somebody is smoking in there, you can see. That's not just spray from the rain, we can see some smoke there. There's a bit of smoke from Ryan Smith. Is he having some sort of a problem? He's up there in 2nd. O'Rourke is now 3rd, then Jenkins, Simon Reed, Collins, Smith, Bowler, Powell, Oliver. There's Simon Cole. In the number 41, he used to race the Mercedes Beast, as it was known. Yes, there is a little bit of smoke there from Ryan Smith's truck, but it's not slowing him down. If you see steam, incidentally, coming off the wheels of these trucks, that's because they have water-cooled brakes. There's Michael Oliver, recovering from his spin earlier on. He's down in 15th overall, 11th in Division 1. Chasing down Craig Evans, who is 4th in Division 2 with his MAN. Ryan Smokey Smith in 2nd place. The gap is coming down. Yes, you can see they're catching Craig Reed. Now that Ryan Smith's got past Tom O'Rourke, he's free to go after the race leader. We've got just over 3.5 minutes to go, so a couple more laps to go. Bradley Smith with the fastest lap, that's a surprise, 1:34.833 for the 46, you can see him in the background. David Jenkins weaving about on the tail of Tom O'Rourke, trying for 3rd place. I reckon O'Rourke must have just been slow off the chicane, that's how he lost out to Ryan Smith. Simon Reed still in there. Paul Rivett still leads Division 2. Down the Craners into the right-hander. David Jenkins still shadowing Tom O'Rourke, who wants to hold on for a podium. Truck 41 of Simon Cole has been given a 5-second penalty. That's for exceeding track limits. Your first couple of offences you get a warning flag. 3rd offence you get a 5-second penalty. Well, this is great running by Tom O'Rourke. If he can hang on here, the best he's had this year is 7th place at Brands Hatch at the season opener at Easter. Can he hang on for a first podium of the season here? David Jenkins behind him. Been a frustrating season for David Jenkins. Craig Reed going superbly. Best result he's had is a 2nd at Pembrey earlier this year in Wales. Ryan Smith looking for his 11th win of the season. Just over 2 minutes to go, so I think we'll get 2 more laps out of this. There's Ricky Collins. Certainly enjoying the damp conditions here. Ricky Collins normally is to be found in the lower reach of the top 10. His best result, a couple of 7th places this year, so he's on for P6. The rain proving a bit of a leveller here. Now, what's the lead gap? Let's have a look what it was as they came over the line. It's down to just over a second now. Ryan Smith is reeling in. He's just on the fastest lap, 1:34.779. We could be in for a grandstand finish here. Tom O'Rourke runs a bit deep through the Craner curve. He's holding off Jenkins. He'll have the inside for the old hairpin. Now, can Craig Reed hang on? The gap came down by a few tenths of a second that time through. Michael Oliver in Division 1 passes John Powell, the Division 2 winner yesterday. He's third this time. And now Smith has caught Craig Reed. This is going to be interesting. Can Ryan Smith make it a hat-trick? Can Craig Reed hold him off? He's going to have to go defensive for the final lap. Into Coppice, there's a back marker, Jim Bennett ahead of them. They're coming up to lap the 7 Atkinson. Here they come along the exhibition straight down to the Robert chicane. Craig Reed already starting to defend. Smith's caught him. We know Smith's preferred passing place in this race. It's the old hairpin. Look at the steam coming off Jim Bennett's brakes on the 7 Atkinson. Third place, it's still O'Rourke, Jenkins, Reed and Collett. Has Tom O'Rourke done enough? They lap Jim Bennett and Ryan Smith. Now he's trying to bamboozle Craig Reed. He's got the inside run. Here we go, down towards Redgate. Is he going to make his move early? They lean on each other, Ryan Smith's being forced towards the grass. Craig Reed turns in. Ooh, it's getting a bit rough and tumble at the front of the field. Surely Ryan Smith's going to go through. There he goes. Yeah, Craig Reed tried to turn in, but Smith was already alongside. He gets the line, gets the overlap, and gets the lead. Craig Reed is not finished yet, but he's fired up. He's going to have a go into the old hairpin here. No, you don't, says Ryan Smith. That's my move. He's wise to him there through the bottom section of the course. Through past Starkey's Bridge. The old stone arches there on the right, a feature of the Donington circuit pre-war. Would you believe it used to go through one of those little stone arches, the circuit here at Donington in its early days. Through McLean's Corner. And then up to Coppice. Can Tom O'Rourke hang on for his first podium of the season? Bradley Smith closing up as well. Ryan Smith with the fastest lap of the race. They're coming down to the checkered flag this time. Out of Coppice, can Craig Reed pull off a last bend lunge through into the chicane? Here we go. Reed having a look to the inside. Smith will be wise to him. He's going to try and cover the inside line here into the first part of the chicane. I don't think Craig Reed's going to do it. See, the only chance he's got is to slipstream him on the run to the line. Difficult to do in a truck. Here they come then, out of the final corner. It's going to be a hat-trick for flying Ryan Smith. Well, the clock's counted down to 0. There's the checkered flag. Second goes to Craig Reed. Ryan Smith wins it from Reed. O'Rourke, his first podium of the season. Then Jenkins, Simon Reed, Collett, Bradley Smith, John Bowler, Stephen Powell and Stuart Oliver as quickly as that. And Paul Rivett wins Division 2 for the second time this weekend. Right, so close in Division 1. We didn't really focus on Division 2 for that race. Adam Bitt comes over in second. Jim Bennett is a lap down. So we wait for the rest of the Division 2 runners to come through. Michael Oliver making it back up to 13th overall. Here's Craig Evans. He's coming in for 4th in Division 2 behind John Powell in the DAF number 6. That keeps up his challenge of Adam Bint in the points. And the other finishers, Neil Yates, Simon Cole and Jim Bennett. Jim Bennett also getting a 5-second penalty, presumably for track limits. Confirm the provisional result in a second. Well, you just cannot beat Ryan Smith this weekend. Wins by 0.68 of a second over Craig Reed. Brilliant drive by Craig's best result of the season. Tom O'Rourke is by far his best result of the season. His first podium of the year in the MAN ahead of David Jenkins, then Simon Reed. Ricky Collett with his best finish of the year in P6 ahead of Bradley Smith, John Bowler, Stephen Powell and Stuart Oliver rounding out the top 10. 11th place Paul Rivett wins Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint, defeating the Volvo by 2.5 seconds. Next home was Michael Oliver, then John Powell, Craig Evans, Neil Yates, with Simon Cole and Jim Bennett completing the finishes.